Hey fam, Sergeant Homesteader here. So today we are dehydrating some tomatoes. So a lot of these tomatoes are either just barely starting to turn red or they are green. Reason being is because, well, they just didn't get a chance to turn before the weather started to turn. So we had to take everything off the vine, otherwise it was gonna freeze. I mean, we have the option to cover it up. But our garden is a pretty nice sized garden, so we just decided to take everything in. We also have the option to put all of the tomatoes that look like this or greener in and outdoors every day and let them sit in the sun as the weather is warmer during the day. I work full time, so I don't have the ability to bring them in and out. So we're just gonna cut everything up here and stick it on the dehydrator. So all summer long, as I get tomatoes, I've either been freezing them because then I can get to them and deal with them all at one time when I want to, or I have been cutting them up and putting them on my dehydrator. So I got everybody's in a colander in the back here and washing them up, and then I'm cutting them pretty thick chunks. So here's the deal, thick chunks. If I'm gonna take a bite of something, I want it to be hearty. I don't want it to be like dust in my mouth. So I like to do thicker chunks. Will this take longer on the dehydrator? Sure will. Probably a day and a half, but really I want to be able to have a nice bite when I bite into it. The difference between the tomatoes when they're green and when they're red, obviously is the texture. So you're gonna have, it's a tougher tomato when it's green. When they're red, they tend to have a little bit softer exterior. There's movie fried green tomatoes. I had to try them after watching the movie, just because that's what it's called. But they're actually very, very good. They're a little bit more on the tart side. It's the same thing when you're dehydrating them. They're a little bit more on the tart side. So when you do the red ones, they're a sweet, tangy flavor to them. Actually, when I've made pesto out of them, because I'll take the dried tomatoes and I'll add olive oil and put them in my food processor and make a pesto. My kids think that I have made candy. So the green tomatoes are just a little bit more tart, a little bit more of a sour on the end. But it's kind of fun because it's one of those things that when you're in survival, it's a tasty treat. Like, kids like sour things. I don't know why. I don't particularly like sour things anymore as an adult, but they still like sour things. So they can just sit and munch on these and give them that little bit of sour, fun, nostalgia, whatever it is. I guess it just, especially if you're in survival and you don't know what might be happening in the world around you, it might be just a little bit fun to have some green tomatoes on hand. Of course, all of my extra stuff goes into my compost for my chickens and my birds. And then we're gonna stick this guy on here. We're gonna start it up in just a few moments. Clean up our mess a little bit, because I've got tomato juice everywhere. I still got quite a few left to go. This is one of 2 bags, but I've been doing this all summer long. You get jars at a time. I got big ones, I got little ones. I just love sun-dried tomatoes. It's one of my favorite treats. I will put them on pizza as well. So yeah, I hope that you get a chance to try this. It's one of those things where you have so many darn tomatoes, you just don't know what to do with them all. This is a quick and easy way to get rid of them, but still have them for the food you need. The other thing that I like to do is I like to stick them in the freezer. Again, like I said, until I'm ready to deal with them. If you do that, then you don't have to blanch them because the skins will come right off. I typically stick them in a ricer after the fact, separate all of the skins and the seeds. And then I can use the tomatoes whether I want to make sauce, whether I want to make tomato soup, whether I want to make salsa. Separates that really, really easy for me. Plus I can make a great big batch as opposed to just making it as it goes, because there's a lot of things that go on during the summer. There's a lot of things that go on during the fall. And I want to be as efficient as possible when I'm doing all of my projects. So again, hope you get a chance to try this one. Subscribe if you like it. Ask me some questions. I'll try and answer them to the best of my abilities. All of this stuff, I'm just learning along the way. That's why I wanted to do this, is to teach other people that we can just learn along the way, and we can make sure that we do the best towards our families. So have a great rest of your day.